CBS 7 News presents Closer Look.
Meanwhile, an attempt to oust illegal immigrants from their suburb is going to cost the city of Farmers Branch nearly $500,000 in legal fees. A federal appeals court upheld the ruling that struck down the city's ordinance banning illegal immigrants from rental housing in the city. The law was ruled unconstitutional. The decision by the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upholds the federal government's right to control immigration laws. Now, that ruling against Farmers Branch has huge ramifications. And joining us now live in the studio is Art Leal, president for Unida in Odessa, or Unida rather. Mr. Leal, was the ruling against Farmers Branch a surprise to you, and why?
We weren't surprised about the ruling. I think it's very well known that immigration matters need to be handled by the United States government and not local municipalities.
So what do you think is going to happen with future laws concerning illegal immigrants at this point? Do you think the federal courts are going to be more liberal?
Not necessarily more liberal. I would say they're going to be more fair. I think that as we move forward, there's going to be more and more cities and counties and states are going to challenge the laws until we can come up with some comprehensive immigration reform.
All right, the ruling by the Federal Appeals Court obviously giving illegal immigrants some relief. What do you think is going to happen next in regard to the housing at Farmers Branch? We hear things are not over yet.
Well, sadly, the effects of the publicity of this, it's going to have its effects on already on the Hispanic population there. It's certainly going to put Farmers Branch on the map. It's certainly going to have Hispanics to have a second guess themselves on whether they want to move to Farmers Branch. So the effects are happening, and it's just sad that that's happening.
Now, there have been a lot of calls from many for the U.S. to establish better and more definitive policies on illegal immigrants. What do you think needs to be done, Art Leal?
There needs to be some comprehensive immigration reform. There needs to be a revamp of the naturalization process, a program to eliminate backlogs. Right now, there are over 1 million applications that are backlogged. There's over 200,000 FBI background checks, and then there's as many as 200,000 applications that are lost and have to be resubmitted. And a lot of times, until we can fix those problems, throwing a lot of our tax dollars at a wall is not going to fix the problem. Congress has to address comprehensive immigration reform, if not now, in the future, in the next administration.
I can imagine what the answer to this question is going to be, but how does your group, Unida, and others feel when they hear about soldiers on the U.S. border guarding it against illegal immigrants or trying to find a decent place to live? What kind of emotions does that evoke?
Well, it's very disappointing. Certainly, having a militarized border is not something to be proud of. Mexico is definitely a neighbor. There are definitely some concerns that out there regarding drug cartels, and we certainly want to protect ourselves from those types of things. But I think a lot of times we forget about those that are innocent, that are already here, that have children here, and how the laws that we put in place implicate not only them, but a lot of their family who are American citizens who are here as well.
All right, Art Leal, president for Unida, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your perspective.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Coming up.